I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it for now. I'm going to conserve the battery on you, and then I will bring this up in the morning. So, and the morning is here. Check that out. Oh my God, it is beautiful. Check out this B-roll. Now you might be wondering why you've swapped sides. The reason why is because I started you off on that side because last night you finished on that side, but this side the sun is going to be rising over here, so I'm going to be better lit. That's the reason why we've swapped sides. Composition this morning? I don't know yet. I don't know. I've put my camera where it was last night, so there might still be a bit of a comparison, sunrises versus sunsets, softness of light and all the rest of that. But I was also doing some astral photography last night. It was cold. It was really cold, but totally worth it. My God, it was beautiful. And this morning I'm going to shoot on the my ultra wide angle. So I won't need to do any blending. Just there, it's perfect. And I'm hoping actually that we might get a little bit of an inversion. It's looking a little bit that way. So let's go F11. Let's just show you what it's looking like through the back of my camera. Okay, I'm going to capture that beautiful pre-sunrise glow first. So this is F11, ISO 31 on 1/6 of a second. And look at that pre-morning glow. You just don't get that with sunsets. I don't know why, but you just don't get that pre-morning glow. I don't know whether it's because the air is a different, you know, it has a different texture to it or what, how the light's passing through it. You just don't get that. Okay, and then to capture Skidaw, I'm going to leave it quite silhouetted to start off with. So I've gone for 1.6 of a second, F11, ISO 100. So I've raised my ISO because I don't want to have to go for a longer shutter speed, because I've got a little bit of wind. I'm stood right next to the camera and things can shake quite easily. I don't want to have to lose that stability in the shot. And then I'm going to shoot the Catbells on ISO 200, shooting on half a second, firing that off. And that is looking absolutely magnificent. Now, again, the final image you won't see until the end of the vlog. And I'm very aware that, you know, this video might already be turning out into a long video, and this might end up being next week. But still, there's even a group of people up on the Catbells right now. It's that much of a beautiful morning. What I wish I had though is a drone. If I'd had a drone, you would be getting a wholly different experience. You really would. Flying through the hillside over Derwent water. Freezing though, have to say that, absolutely freezing. But I've captured that initial shot now. I'm going to chill out, I'm going to turn you off, and then let's wait until that sun rises that little bit further. I feel like if more people experienced what me and Pauline are experiencing right now, there would be miles less depression, sadness in the world. Just coming out and seeing the sun rise over the clouds and cast that first light on the mountains. Like, don't get me wrong, my toes are absolutely frozen. But there's something quite magical about it all. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait until the sun gets a little bit further onto the top of the mountains and I get a bit more alpine glow on Skidaw. Capture that, and then do you remember that tarn that I had before? Just down there. I'm going to wander down, I'm going to capture the tarn, hopefully with a nice reflection of the Catbells, Skidaw, and then maybe some colour in the sky. I don't know. But it is beautiful this morning, and I want that to be on top of there before I head to the next location. And the next location should be pretty blooming good. But I've had a coffee. Yeah, coffeeed up now. It was really tasty too. Really tasty. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to chill out, wait until the light gets onto top of there, and then wander down to the next location. The sun is up and it is beautiful. But now it's time to go down that little tarn, I think. I could stay and do a shot of the tent and, you know, that old kettle of fish, that one that's been done a million times before by any photographer without camping. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is head down to a shot, a composition that I hope is going to look fantabby-dozy with that morning sun. I hope. But let's see you down there. Ta-da! And we are here. Now, there's one thing that instantly has struck me, and it's nowhere near as like an infinity pool as I was hoping. That's still pretty non-reflection. So I'm going to have to go back up a little bit higher and then do more of, water onto, Catbells onto, Skidaw, which is still nice, but it's not quite as nice as I was hoping, because, you know, to have reflections in there as well would have been something real different. But it's still pretty good. Now, lining up the shot. Oh yeah, it's working it. It's working it. There. That's my composition. So I've got this section of rocks coming onto the little tarn, onto Catbells, onto Skidaw. Whether to do it a little bit left heavy, that might look quite nice. And then I get Blinkaffer in there as well. And then the Lake Derwent water points to Skidaw as well. Boom. Okay, now we're talking. Let's get it set up. So believe it or not, I was actually just complaining to Pauline about the fact that I'm a landscape photographer that never shoots in landscape. This shot is in landscape. Mental. Who knew? Who knew I even shot in landscape, understood what it was? But I do for this one. And the reason why is because I've got this rock here leading on to this little tarn, leading on to the Catbells, leading on to Skidaw. Nice and simple, looks beautiful. This side, I've got the footpath leading on to Derwent Water, leading on to Skidaw. Beautiful as well. Then if I lower my exposure a little bit, then just over in distance over here, I've got Blinkaffer balancing off against Skidaw. It is a complete package. It's all leading into each other, all finishing over by Blinkaffer and creating the interest circle. So your eyes don't just get fixed on one item and get bored. You want to look around, you want to go for a wander with them eyes. My granddad taught me that. And if he's watching, thank you very much, Ray. But yeah, so I'm going to capture this image in a few different exposures, really. Okay, so I'm going to capture it first of all. For the foreground, I'm going to capture the light on them tips. I'm really liking the contrast between the highlights and the shadows. It's looking good. Check it out. It looks beautiful. Why wouldn't you like that? And then I'm going to raise the exposure slightly for the shadows in the mountains in the background. And I'm going to capture them now. It might look like subtle differences, and it might be able to be achieved using Lightroom and basic adjustments. But if I capture it on the day, and I capture it now, later on in post-processing, I won't have to worry about it then, because I've already captured it. And then I'm going to lower that exposure, because I don't want any highlights in the sky blown out, any information gone. And every time I've taken a shot, I've put it here. But if I could have these shots with the interest in the sky as well, that would honestly, that would make the perfect image. But you can't have it all. And the reason, well, how I've combated the lack of interest in the sky is I've extended that foreground. And the reason why is because there's nothing in the sky. Sky's pretty boring, to be honest. It's very blue, beautiful, and it's going to be a lovely day. I'm not complaining. But for morning sunrise photography, what could have been the sky on fire with them rich mountains underneath, yeah, that would have been nice. But I haven't managed to capture that. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm still super happy with the images I captured last night and the images I captured this morning. And hopefully one vlog that may be turned into 2 vlogs because of how much time I spent waffling. But it's been beautiful. It's been absolutely beautiful, and I definitely suggest either a very early morning hike up to Maiden Moor or a evening spent out underneath the stars, because I did some astral photography as well, but I'm definitely no astral photographer, so that might be a load of rubbish. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog/vlogs. I'm not sure yet. And I hope I've inspired you to pack up your camping gear and head out. I definitely suggest, though, get a good sleeping bag, because it was frozen last night. Like, really blooming cold. Really blooming cold. But beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Again, being cold is totally worth everything else that's going on. And I think if more people came out and did this kind of stuff, there'll be a lot more happier people. But respecting it as well. That's very important. Respect it. And you're out here, leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but pictures. 100% true. A motto to live life by. Anyway, I will see you next week. Peace out, peeps.